Good morning, most amazing artists.
Good morning, Miss Love.
We are making the Tennessee State bird a mockingbird, and then hopefully going to get to color it with watercolors. The first step for today is to make the head with a rainbow shape. I'm gonna go a little bit faster on this video, but if you need to rewatch it, you can rewatch it. The next part is a little gap, like a smile right here, and then a diagonal line for the wing. The wing's coming down as a straight line. And then the bottom of the wing is a smile shape. So we're gonna make that. And then it goes to a point for the wing. So you're gonna make a triangle shape to connect the wing parts. Then the beak is a triangle for the nose. So we're gonna come out for the line. And then we're gonna come back and wrap around with a kind of like a little rainbow right here. Then the belly is a big smile. If you want it to be a wider smile, you can come out more. If you want it to be thinner, you can come out less. So I want it to be kind of like this one. So I'm gonna make that smile shape like that. You can change it however you want. Erase it, fix it to make it the shape that you want it to be, the kind of smile that you want it to be. The tail could go up like this, or it could go, if you wanted it to, it could go out straight like that, or it could be drooping down like this. Wherever it's coming from, whether it's going up or out or down, it's going to be coming from this area. So decide how you want it to be. And then we're going to turn those into loops. So we've got, let's do 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. Then the wing, I was showing the group before that the wing has a lot of really cool patterns, like small parts and long parts and little parts. So we're gonna do this, and then long, and then little, and then the legs of the bird. You can show them or you can not show them. If he's like sitting on the branch and his legs are tucked in, you don't have to draw them. But if you want to draw the branch kind of like under him, then the way that you could draw the legs are going out and then over. And then this one you might not see, it's just maybe gonna go down. So this one would be on the top. And then make this little triangle shape right here. And then his little claws might come around the branch. So let's make the branch a little bit thicker. And then we're gonna make one claw coming this way. The mockingjays have little like claws. We can turn this leg into a rectangle shape. And then the other one is going to be coming around this way. And then the last one, maybe you don't see it all the way, but just kind of see the top of it. And then the second one, you could draw the same with that back part, and then the front part, maybe a little bit from the back, and then make the leg into a more rectangle shape. So the mockingjay has kind of a really cool eye. You can see that there's the dark part. It's got some yellow actually around the outside and the iris. So let's make the circle for the pupil of the eye. It looks really good with animal drawings if you have a highlight spot in the pupil, like where the light's reflecting off. And then we're gonna make the ring around that you could paint a little bit yellow, a little bit white, maybe a little bit of gray for some shadow or some other colors for shadow. I'll probably mix some blue in with the yellow to make a grayish color. So it'd be mostly yellow, but blending it in to make some gray. Then this part's gonna be dark. So this has like a little darker section from here to the wing. And then the top of the wing, the top of the beak. So it's darker right here to the top of the beak. And then the bottom of the beak might be a little bit dark for the shadow too. But then it gets lighter as it gets into this gray part of the bird. Around the bird is a darker section of fur, not fur, feathers. And that's like their soft feathers, and that goes around the edge. So they've got kind of like a flatter head than what I did. So if you want to make it a little bit flatter, you can. So if you would like to make it a little bit flatter. So we're gonna do this. And next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get the gray with some water. This is actually a black. So maybe the sections of the wings that have darker. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna go like this with some gray, mix them in. You come around the head a little bit. You won't have time for this today. Today you're just gonna work on your bird and making the drawing that you want, and then next time you come you can work on coloring it. You can see that I'm using the darkness of the color around the edges, and then I'm gonna get just the water for the middle and let the water make all the flowy parts. I'm gonna add a little tiny bit of green. Still a little bit dark in here, so I would like to get just some water and water alone so it's not super dark. So the darkness around the edge. And we're going to go into the legs. And blend this like that. And you're going to come into the beak. All right, what color did we say the eyes were going to be? Yellow. If you have part of later I'm going to come in and make this part around the iris darker. But for right now, I just want to have a little bit of yellow where the iris is without it blending into that dark part. So I'm not going to do that dark part just yet. You can add more colors if you want to. You can add more blending. It's a gray bird, but there are white parts. So if you do too much gray, like I did, we can go back and get some tissue or paper towel or baseball and dab it. So I'm going to dab it where I want it to be more white, where it's not actually gray. So it's helpful to kind of actually look at a real picture of a mockingbird. You can see the belly's more white. So I'm going to dab it on the belly, try to get some of that whiteness back. And look, voila, the whiteness came back. And then maybe like some spots on the back right here, they seem to be like a little bit lighter gray. So we're going to go like that. And then if you took away too much, it's no problem. You just come back and add the darkness where the wings are. All right, and we'll finish the eye later. We can finish the branch later after the bird dries, because we don't want to do things that are going to bleed color into each other if we don't want that color to bleed into each other. So we're going to wait and do the eye. If you do have time today, you can start on the gray. You can also make this darker with the pencil if you want to. We'll make this darker later. Or you could get black pencil. This way if you don't want to wait for later. If you want to get it done today, you could add the dark with the pencil, because then it's not going to bleed into the watercolor. And you can still create value with this, going from dark to light. Maybe add some more dark at the bottom, the beak and the top. You can change the shape a little bit and just play with it until you get it how you want it to be.